Good afternoon, everybody. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Thought we'd do a little talk this week on another subject. A good friend of mine, HKV, talked to me about. I know people want to see the ham radio cat. He'll get up here in just a minute, I'm sure. She's right down here by my feet. Seeing a lot of new hams. I made a video on advice for new hams, or just general advice. This is going to be more on getting on HF. New hams getting on HF. We're kind of wondering if, there's always a little bit of apprehension before you start making a call on a worldwide band radio on things like that. If you're doing it right and what people are going to say and getting answers and all that kind of stuff. So, a lot of hams will get into this hobby and just get their tech license where they can work VHF, UHF repeaters, and that's fine. That's great. I've seen a lot of them do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You'll get a lot of them that are constantly on a repeater all the time. I know years ago we had a guy on one of our repeaters that you couldn't ID without him coming back wanting to talk because he was there at the house all the time, and that's fine. I try not to tie a repeater up too much. Somebody else can use it, but I do use them on occasion. Now, HF, a little different story. You're talking on a world band. You're going to talk to people from all over the country, all over the world if the band's open just right. And it's to me, it's the funnest part of the hobby. So what I usually do, whatever frequency I'm on, I'm going to pick a frequency here. We're going to make a CQ call, and band sounds dead, we may not get an answer, but let's see what we can do. I'll show you this is how I do it. QRZ frequency in use. Is this frequency in use? Quit, cat. Quit. Quit chewing on my cord. QRZ, is this frequency in use? Nothing heard. Hello, CQ, 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 CQ10, CQ10 meters from Kilowatt, Bravo 5, Mexico, India, Quebec. KB5, MIQ, calling CQ, 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 CQ10, CQ10 meters. Kilowatt, Bravo 5, Mexico, India, Quebec, calling CQ, KB5, MIQ. That's just the way I do it. It's real simple. And I may repeat it 2 or 3 times, and then I may go to another band and do this. The thing when you get on there, if you're apprehensive about talking and somebody comes back to you, just give your call sign, talk in plain English. CB lingo is not used on ham radio. Fire and police 10 codes are not used on ham radio. Just yes, no, talk like you're talking on the phone. You'll learn the Q codes fast enough to use. Nobody expects you to be 100% right with them to begin with. And if you're making your first contact or two, tell the guy on the other end, hey, this is my first contact. What do I need to say? And most of them will help you through it. You're going to run into the ham radio police, I call them, the experts. Tune away from them. Don't engage them. Just find you another spot, go on, and don't let that deter you. Make your contacts, run your logbook. It don't hurt to get on there and listen. If the band's open, even if you got, say you're a new technician with only 10 meter voice privileges, but you got an HF radio, there's no law says you can't listen. Tune down into 20 meters and listen. Listen to conversations, listen to people talk. And that way you'll hear how the procedures usually go. And you'll hear some good operators and you'll hear some bad operators. But there's nothing wrong with you tuning in another band, even though you may not be licensed to operate that band. Ain't nothing says you can't listen to it. So tune down, listen to it. If you can get online, and best thing to find out how good operators are, if you hear any HF nets. If you get online and look up HF nets and you find one that you can listen to, even if you don't want to check into it, just monitor it. Just sit there and listen to it. You'll hear everything possible, good and bad, about how ham radio operator operates if you listen to a net. Same thing with a VHF 2 meter net. If you know there's a local net going to happen, if you try and learn the hobby and learn how to properly communicate, then just listen to it. That's the easiest thing to do. And like I say, you'll learn from it. You'll learn a lot just listening to different nets, things like that. Now, digital modes, I've had to always tell people, I've got my email posted on QRZ on my KB5 MIQ page. I'll try to answer any question you got, but if you ask me about digital modes and FT8 and things like that, I have not got a clue what that is. So, I'm trying to learn it. I made a joke the other day. Here's the latest issue of QST. When I first got into this hobby, I kind of understand the radios because there wasn't any multifunction screens, everything had a control on it. I joke now, I just get there to look at the pictures because a lot of this stuff I didn't want to understand. I'm still trying to learn it. And keep your manuals handy when you operate the radio, especially if you got one of those multifunction screens, HF rigs or VHF rig, and you need to learn how to do something. Keep your manual handy. Go back and refer back to it. Like I said, just work the hobby. I know you just heard me give my call sign. I did not use the correct phonetic alphabet. I think I've said this in another video. The correct phonetic alphabet for my call sign is Kilo Bravo 5 Mike India Quebec. But for some reason, when I say that, other stations hear it as India. They think I'm saying India Quebec for some reason. Or they can't get the Q right. So that's how I say mine, like I say Kilowatt Bravo 5 Mexico India Quebec. That's not the correct phonetic spelling, but that's the way I say it so everybody can understand it. I've thought about changing to a vanity call sign and maybe trying to ask for something easier to understand, but I don't know. I'm so one-track minded. Even if I got it, I'd probably still go by KB5 MIQ till I figured out the difference on it. But just don't let any of the ham radio police deter you. Operate legally. Operate within your band limits for what class license you got. And I've showed these before. This quick reference manual is I got my glasses on. Find a cover for it. I can find a cover for this thing. It's that nifty quick references. Gives you the band plan for every every ham band by license class. So whatever license class you're in, this is a good reference to see where you can operate in it. Now you don't ever want to get in there and operate out of your license class. That's not good because somebody will call you in on that if they look you up. Because everybody can look you up online now, see what class license you got. So stay within your license class. Listen to what's going on. Make your call. Just talk in plain English. Give your call sign. If you're trying to, you hear a station that you're trying to work, especially a DX station, listen to them first couple of times as long as the band's open. You kind of get a feeling what they're taking. Because sometimes they'll say, okay, I'm only taking 5 calls now. And that usually means nobody else should be calling but 5 calls. But sometimes they'll still do it. Or you can hear if maybe this guy's taking the last person he hears or the loudest. So you just have to kind of throw your call out there. So you're hearing a foreign station, and when he signs off, what I do, I just go KB5 MIQ and throw it out there. And if he hears it and he says, okay, KB5 MIQ, go ahead, then I'll answer him. And everybody should stand down. But you'll have people doubling over top of one another. You'll have the guy running a 1500 watt amp louder than everybody. That's just things you have to learn to deal with in this hobby. But like I said, this is KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Look me up on QRZ. My email's posted. I'll try to help you any way I can. Like I said, I'm not good with digital, but I'll try to find you an answer. Thanks to all who subscribe. Everybody have a great day. 73.